What's up, dudes? Purple Barty here, back with another What Happened to Them video. By the title, you already know what band I'm going to be talking about, so let's jump into this. Leave a like and sub. The Kooks are a band from England, with the original members being Paul Gerard, Luke Pritchard, and Hugh Harris. The band were heavily influenced by the Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan, David Bowie, and the Police. Their band name is actually a David Bowie song. They would record a demo in hopes of getting a big gig at a local venue/pub. Their demo was so good that they started to get record companies and managers to offer them deals. Deal or no deal? You know what I'm saying? Howie Mandel, what a fucking legend. This was a hot time to sign to indie band, and Virginia Records made them an offer they couldn't refuse. They had only been together for 3 months and had already signed a record deal. Luke, the lead singer, would later say that he felt like they signed too soon, but the reason they did sign was because they thought the people at Virginia Records were pretty cool and understanding. The band would go on tour with the Thrills, a pop rock band from Dublin, Ireland, who was also signed to Virginia. During the tour, they would craft their songs and their sound. They would head to the studio with a lot of songs in many genres of music. Their debut was bound to be good. Inside In, Inside Out. Inside In, Inside Out would be released on January 23rd, 2006. This would be the same day that the Arctic Monkeys debut would come out. Big competition. The band's sound consisted of indie rock, post-punk, revival, and post-Brit pop. The album would peak at number 2 in the UK and number 165 in the US. The first single of the album, Eddie's Gun, would be a song about erectile dysfunction. The Sofa song would be Luke's attempt at writing a Smith song, but it's not as good as a Smith song at all. Man, he doesn't have the charm that Morrissey has. He doesn't have the hair that Morrissey has. He doesn't have Johnny Marr. It was kind of naive for him to think about that. But it is decent at best. You Don't Love Me, the next single, is self-explanatory. A heartbreak song. Then they would come out with the big single, Naive. The song would reach number 5 in the UK singles charts and 21 in the Billboard Modern Rock charts. The song is certified triple platinum in the UK. The song's pretty dancey for being a song with pretty sad lyrics. It's a hopeless romantic type of song, but what really shines is Luke's vocals. It's very unique. He's got a bit of a lisp and doesn't shy away from this British accent that he has. She Moves in Her Own Way would be the next single, and man, is this such a good song. I fucking love this song. It would chart at number 7 in the UK single charts and hit number 22 in the US alternative airways. If there ever was a song that reminded me of sunsets in Hawaii in December, and it's 8 p.m. and you got some Hennessy and you had a long day skateboarding, it's She Moves in Her Own Way. Hola would be the last single to come out and is like She Moves in Her Own Way, an acoustic one for the most part. The song would hit number 20 in the UK. The band would have 6 singles off their debut album, which is so many. Almost half of the album were singles. I was almost gassed out seeing how many singles were on the album. Enemy would give the album a 8 out of 10, and Pitchfork would give the album 5.9 out of 10. The album would sell over 2 million copies worldwide during a time when a lot of us were using LimeWire or BearShare to download songs illegally. The band at this time would also win the Best UK and Ireland Act at the MTV Awards. Gunk. Things got a little bit funky after the first album. Band member Max Rofferts would end up getting fired. The other members of the band would blame it on absence due to illness and drug addiction. But Max would later say that he got fired from the band because he didn't like the new record. The band considered dismembering completely, but would later find a bassist to replace Max and finish off their second album. Gunk would come out on April 8th after 6 weeks of recording. The album would debut at number 1 in the UK album charts for the first week. Always Where I Need to Be would be the first single off the album, peaking the number 3 spot in the UK and number 22 in the US. The song would be featured on FIFA 09. Man, I love FIFA. I miss playing that shit. I would play that till like 3 a.m. Those some good times, man. Anyways, Shine On and Sway would be the next 2 singles. To be honest, the sound didn't change much from the first album. It was more indie rock, but very much more focused on being indie rock. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, it was like the poster child of indie rock. Inside In, Inside Out was more playful. This was more focused. The album would get a 5 out of 10 from The Enemy and 4.9 out of 10 from Pitchfork. Junk of the Heart. Released September 9th, 2011, the band would go through another lineup change. This time it was drummer Paul Gerard that would leave the band in 2009 and be replaced with Nicholas Millard, who then would be replaced by Chris Pendergast. The band would also hire Jim Abbas as a producer for the album, but would later fire him because they felt like the sound of the album was sounding like the past 2 that they had written. But then they would return to previous producer Tony Hoffer. This makes no sense to me. If you're chasing a new sound, why do you go back to the same producer who made the sound the way you once sounded like? The first single for the album would be Is It Me in Europe and Junk of the Heart in all other countries. Once again, I don't hear much change in the band's sound other than them adding a little more synth. The songs do sound more anthemic in a way, but it seems like most of the songs are about love and heartbreak. The album will reach number 10 spot in the UK and 68 in the US. None of the songs would chart in the UK singles. Junk of My Heart would chart in the US alternative songs at number 20. Pitchfork didn't even review the album, while Enemy would give the album a 2 out of 5 stars. The band would release Listen, The Best Of, So Far, and Let's Go Sunshine. But I'm not going to talk about those projects because the story of what happened to the Kooks happened in the first 3 albums. They started off with a bang. That first album really seemed like the only time the band was having fun making music. I do think Max leaving the band had a huge effect on them. They almost considered splitting up the band after he left. Then they would lose their drummer that was with them from the beginning. It just felt like the band got torn apart just as it all began. 2011 really did end them. Again, rock was still great that year. El Camino by the Black Keys came out. Noel Gallagher's debut album came out. Let England Shake came out. And a personal favorite of mine, Suck It and See by the Arctic Monkeys, came out in 2011. Overall, the band didn't seem like a band anymore. It just felt like Luke Pitchard and company. This one makes me pretty sad because the band had so much potential to be headlining major festivals till this day. But who knows if they can recapture the magic that they had in the first album. The Kooks are still making music till this day, and I wish them the best. If somehow you haven't listened to their music, definitely check out their first album.